Michael, here we go. Another campaign in Rotterdam for yourself. Do you still look forward to these as much as you always used to?
Yes, but more I look forward to the next one, and quicker we get to the end.
Is there still that added pressure and expectation on your shoulders in this one in particular?
Always, because we don't play that often. Only a few times a year we play in Holland on the big stage, and when the fans are coming, of course, there's more pressure on your shoulders. That's part of it, and yeah, of course, you also want to give them a little bit extra. You want to do well in front of your own crowd. You know, most of the time, you got some extra guests coming, things like that. That all helps.
Does it make it a little bit easier, the fact there's two Dutchmen in Rotterdam this year?
No, I don't think that matters. They also had it before with Marcel and Raymond, and I just think it's part of it. I don't think that changes anything.
Last week in Brighton, it was a really good week for yourself in terms of points on the table, and it gives you a real boost heading into that gang into the top four now, and a little bit of a gap. Does that make you feel good?
Of course, but I could have made it myself easier here and there. I think if I look critical towards my own performances, I should have had 3, 4, 5 points extra, and yeah, that's not the case. So then you need to make sure you keep battling and keep grafting because every game is really important to win, and you need to make sure you're in the top four. You need to make sure you're in the O2. Simple as that.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Michael. Is the pressure sort of the expectation of the Dutch crowd? Is it the same on you that it's always been going over there?
Yeah, of course. I think they always expect a lot of me because they know what I'm capable of. In the past, I raised the barrier so high for myself, but it's also times have changed a bit. Um, my yeah, and how do I say it? Everything has changed, and so things are different now. So you need to make sure you keep battling. And I still love what I do. I still love to perform on the stages, and I think yeah, that's the only thing that matters for me.
Is there ever been a time when you've been in front of your home crowd, a Dutch crowd, where it's felt like too much pressure, or is it something you've
Yeah,
always dealt with well?
of course that happens, and that's the I think the most difficult thing to handle when the pressure is really high. Look also to German Dutch, for instance, what happened to the Schindlers and the Max Hobbs and all the pressure got to them. You know what I mean? It sometimes it's hard.
And it'll be Gian's first time in the Premier League in front of his home crowd. Do you think he'll deal with the pressure well?
I think for him it's the most important thing to enjoy yourself. I can remember my first time. You need to enjoy that moment. It's a magical moment.
And you're obviously up against Johnny Clayton. He's had his injury troubles of late, but he seems to be sort of battling through those and getting points and getting Premier League night wins on the board. Are you expecting a dangerous Johnny Clayton on Thursday night?
Yeah, if you just look to his performances in the last week, everything goes his way in the Premier League. Whatever he does doesn't really matter. People missing match darts, things like that. It's Johnny Clayton is on fire now, and fair play to him. But I need to make sure I'm going to stop him in Holland.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Hello, Michael. Thank you for your time. You said that because of what you've done, the Dutch crowd expect a lot from you. With things that are happening now, do you still expect the same from yourself compared to 5, 10 years ago?
I don't expect the same, but I know I'm capable of, so that makes it hard sometimes.
We know in Rotterdam, because it's quite a big venue, it can be quite breezy. Do you do anything different? Maybe change your how your darts fly or your setup to try to sort that
No,
issue out?
no. I hope they're doing as much as possible to make sure it's doable. I think it is possible in the venue, so we see what's going to happen tomorrow.
And last week against Johnny Clayton in the final, you missed four match darts in that 5-2 up. Is how do you get over that disappointment and put that behind you to focus on what's coming ahead?
I have to admit, if you just look to my week last week, I think the final was probably my best game, and then I, yeah, I don't do myself any justice there in the final. So yeah, it is what it is. You don't be too harsh on yourself because there's still a long way to go.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And some questions in Dutch. Goedemiddag, Michael.
Is everyone in English, yeah? Everyone finished in
Sorry?
English?
Michael,
Oh, Sorry.
How do you think Luke Littler's going to do at Rotterdam?
Sorry?
Quite be a few. How do you think Luke Littler's going to do tomorrow night? Quite be a few views. You don't
I,
care, I know, but
I don't know. I have to do what I have to do, and what other people do is not up to me, is it?
do you think it's quite nice though? Because when you come home, you get the support of the crowd, don't you? Basically, it's quite nice for you to have that
Yeah,
Rotterdam crowd. When you go abroad, you sometimes get the opposite, don't you?
of course,
You know,
but that's the way how darts works. Sometimes you have the crowd on your side, sometimes not. Sometimes you're the underdog, sometimes you're the favorite. That's the way how crowd works, and as long as you give them respect, they give you respect back. And I think that's the only thing that matters, and that's how I always treated the crowd.
look, Jan and Luke have played it down. They're best friends. You know,
Yeah,
they're
but
getting on now.
I,
But
I,
is Needle good in
I
sport?
just want to say, well, I don't care whatever goes on. I don't think that anything goes on. So you have to
Yeah.
ask them the winner.
Luke Humphreys was saying on TalkSport, he thinks the Premier League format is due a change. He didn't say how, he didn't say what he thought. He just thought he maybe changed it. What's your opinion on this sort of thing? Do you agree with him, or are you
Yeah.
happy with
If
things?
you listen to my interviews the last years, I already said that for a few years, and this is not my preferred choice, this format, but uh, I gave my opinion. So how many interviews can I, and how many questions can I answer about it? I don't know, but yeah, everyone knows I'd rather see it different. But I'm not the organization. I'm here to play darts and try to win as much as possible.
As long as you win the title, you don't care at the end of the day. I suppose it doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you're winning.
I still like to enjoy myself week after week.
Just finally, Michael, do we ever write you off? I mean, we look at where you are and think, actually, you know, two Lukes and you've got Johnny doing well. Is it a dangerous thing to write you off, particularly heading into Rotterdam?
I hope they write me off. I hope they underestimate me.
You play better.
But nah, I just need to make sure I do the right thing for myself, and then I will give it anyone a game. Simple.
Good luck. Well, thank you, Michael. Good luck.
Michael, do you think this is probably the toughest Premier League we've had in a few years now?
What do you mean? Based on what?
Well, based on how many players are in the hunt for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely good for the crowd now to watch, but most of the years it's not that close, to be honest. But yeah, this year it's closer together. So yeah, for the people, it's every week there's a lot of stake on stake every game.
Do you think the addition of Jean and Josh Rock has been beneficial then?
Yeah, definitely. I think they both deserved it in their own way. Of course, you can debate on other players being in or out, but that again, it's out of my reach. It's not, yeah, I can't do anything against it anyway. So yeah, it is what it is.
Have you been surprised with the way Jean has handled himself in the Premier League?
I think he does really well, also on the tour, and he's a fantastic player and guy as well. So I think he's a credit to the sport.
And just going back to that, obviously the incident you don't want to talk about with Jean and Luke, but
listen, guys, you all know there's been a million of incidents, but people like to make it a story. People love to write about things, try to make it bigger, try to get answers out. You know, I did a lot of interviews over years. I know exactly what you want to hear out of my mouth. I know that, but I'm not going to say it. But this is absolutely nothing. Nothing really happened. Otherwise, I could be in the paper with Phil Taylor every week, guys. You know that.
But do you think gamesmanship, it's been part of darts for years, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's also emotion, things like that happens.
Thank you. Thanks for your time, Michael. Good luck tomorrow.
Right. Cheers. We'll move on to the Dutch part now.
Oh, can I just do one question?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you go.
Yeah. Just on that format thing, because Luke Humphreys talked about there's so many good players now, there might need to be more people in it. Is that what you think as well?
No, I think you need to keep it for the elite, the best of the best. Simple. Premier League always delivered the best players, and if you make it extended to more people, I think it gets away that glamour of that the little club.
So you wouldn't want the two division thing that some people talk about having two divisions.
Yeah. No.
In a word, no.
Yeah, one. No. Yeah, get a second division for the radio.
change your